Alright, so this is Castlevania Symphony of the Night. Any percent no save corruption. This is going to be a really great race. All these guys have very close PBs and extremely optimized category, very high skill level. So at the start of this run, you play as Richter Belmont. You're coming in at the end of Rondo. You're defeating Dracula. And they need to do this fight very specifically so that they get a certain set of items that they need to do a very big glitch at the start of the run, which enables the rest of the run to be much faster and much easier.
Yeah, it's possible to skip death, and by doing that, you can keep some good items you need for later.
Yeah.
Well, just to kill everything really fast, basically. It just makes it faster.
Yeah, so the item that they're getting from this, if they enter the Dracula fight with 45 hearts, they get an item called the Neutron Bomb. And what they're going to do with that is they're going to set their experience perfectly by killing a certain number of enemies on the way towards death. And then they're going to do a trick called the reverse shift line. And what they do is on a certain pixel, they need to be traveling away from the side of the screen as they hit their neutron bomb, which will freeze the screen in the level up animation and cause them to overflow the screen and skip death, allowing them to keep all of the equipment that they start the game with, which you're supposed to get again at the end of the game.
It's coming up really soon.
Yeah, so you bring this wolf over to the right, and this is the setup right here. If you use the map screen for this game, you can actually pause buffer inputs. As you see, Dragon Blitz has already gotten it. It's really good. And so yeah, you can keep trying to get the exact pixel by using the map screen and checking, so you don't waste your neutron bomb on a pixel that's not real. Okay, so everybody has successfully kept their amazing armor, and now they're pretty much going to cruise through the game for a little bit, get the wolf relic, and head up towards another part of the castle. Another interesting technique you've already seen by now is called shield dashing. And so if you've ever played this game, you know that you have a backdash on your top button. And, backdashing, just chaining a backdash would be faster than walking. But the backdash speed is actually non-linear. So the beginning of the backdash is faster than the end of it. And so what you can do is you can backdash, pull your shield out to cancel it, and then backdash again. And so that's the basic movement technique you're going to be seeing for the first 8 minutes or so of this run.
Yeah, you need pretty good mashing ability to be able to quick hit both buttons back and forth. Takes quite a bit of technique to pull off.
Yeah, so this is Slogger and Gaibon. As you see, the bosses are made quick work of with the Alucard sword. It's a very late game weapon. It's extremely powerful, and it pretty much destroys everything in your path. So as you see in this next room, they go a little bit out of their way to grab a potion, and you'd think, they have all this great armor, why do they need that? When you use items in this game, you actually get a very, very long invincibility period, which they can abuse to make a glitch later in this game, much, much easier, much safer for a marathon setting. So yeah, it should be noted, as you see, everyone is, we're not tied. This race is, it's been stratified. But that room that Dragon Blitz just left, that's called the clock room. And what that does is it opens and closes every minute, which means there's a cutoff point that if you get there faster, then you'll just be sitting there waiting, wasting time. So the first 8 minutes of this run is mostly going to even up all the players. And so it's basically you're trying to minimize the amount of level up time and pause time, because pause time is the only time that doesn't factor into the clock rush time. And so a couple of the strats they employ are maybe slower real time but faster, or wait, other way around. Yeah, it pretty much optimizes real time to get the clock open faster.
In this room here, these enemies can have a small chance of dropping a meal ticket, and then once you get the meal ticket, there's a very small chance of getting a toadstool, and then with the toadstool, if you manipulate it just right, it's possible to save a little time, but it's like 1 in 4,000-ish or something to get those odds.
Yeah.
So you're not going to really see that
Yeah,
unless, you know, a miracle occurs.
I think it's a 1 in 30 drop for the meal ticket, and then it's like 1 in 60 for the toadstool from the meal ticket. So it's pretty absurd. So right here, this is the second boss fight in the game. As you see, they picked up the sub-weapon called the stopwatch. And most bosses in this game, the stopwatch just, barely slows down. But the doppelganger fights in this game are entirely frozen from the stopwatch, which is quite interesting. So you can make extremely quick work of him. If you don't stopwatch him, every time you hit him, he'll jump away, he'll, miss. He'll do something that makes it so your fight is much slower. Okay, so coming up here, we're getting the Wolf Relic. And what the Wolf Relic allows us to do is a very minor sequence break to get up to Mist and the Colosseum. Normally in this game, you would have to go up and around the chapel to get Leapstone to make the jump, but if you get the Wolf, you can transform in midair, and when you untransform, it gives you a dive kick, which you can use to get higher than you normally would, which allows you to, pretty much sequence break the game. And also here, you should note that they're going a little bit out of the way to grab this Garnet, and that's going to allow a bit of a glitch in the shop later, and it is extremely important to doing this run.
So now they're heading back to the clock room. So if they all, played kind of similarly, they might all be tied if they can make it back before the clock change is over.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure everybody here is on pace for a sub-8 clock rush, which is the cutoff, and so we should have a really great tied race at that point. If you notice, they're also they're grabbing some hearts on the way back and forth. You do need to use 20 hearts to use the stopwatch, and the stopwatch is used a couple times in this run. All right, and Rom has entered the clock room, and as you see, the door is closed. Dragon Blitz is just behind him.
Yeah, so we're at a 3-way tie right now,
Yep.
and
Can we get a
potentially a 4-way tie.
All right.
Oh yeah, super close.
So now the race is anybody's game. There's no more cutoffs. This is all optimization. Okay, so what they're doing now is you're going into the Colosseum to get the Mist, which allows us to get the Bat Relic, and also to go up and get the Fairy Card, which is also another ingredient towards making the shop glitch happen. And so they're pretty much just wandering their way through the Colosseum, still shield dashing a lot.
It's cool. The Fairy Card, it wasn't even known that you could do the shop glitch with it for a while, so the route was a lot different. And over time, the routes changed a lot.
Yeah, I believe you used the Sword Brothers card.
Yeah, the Sword Brothers spell to get a sound effect to play, but people realized you could just use the fairy instead.
Shout out to Brazil for finding out that trick. The Brazilian SotN community finds many of the bugs in this game, and I think we all owe them our heartfelt thanks.
Okay, so we're getting Mist. If you watch real quick before, they grabbed a very important item called the library card over here, which allows them to teleport instantly back to the library, which makes the routing in this game very, very optimized. So now that they have Mist, what they're going to do is they're going to do a very extremely tight series of inputs to get the jump kicks off some books, which allows them to get up to the fairy card. What they do is they're going to equip the potion that they got earlier and get a brief period of invincibility so that they can dive kick the books without getting hit. Okay, so they all have the fairy card. They're heading back to the shop, which is going to allow a big glitch. So what they're doing is they pull the fairy out, and if you backdash into the shop when the fairy is talking, it actually allows you to pause the game while inside the shop, which is completely not intended, which makes it extremely easy to break something. And so what you can do is you can equip the garnet, and then when you sell it, the game doesn't know what happened, and so it overflows your garnets, which means you can sell, 255 of them, and you can get enough money for an item called the duplicator.
I'm interested in
And what the duplicator is going to allow them to do is copy the buffalo stars and the mana prism that they just bought.
Yeah, so like it's interesting with the things they can buy here. Like the buffalo stars, they're supposed to be one-use items. You buy it, you have it once, you use it, and that's it. Of course, with the duplicator, you can just use infinite of them. And because you're only supposed to use them once, these items, they're pretty powerful. And so having like infinite buffalo stars is really good for not only killing bosses, but also you can kind of replace your shield with shield dashing with a buffalo star, so you can kind of buffalo star dash as you're seeing. And that's pretty nice.
Yeah, the other very important aspect is the infinite mana prisms. The second half of this run, the movement isn't typically comprised of shield dashing. You're actually getting the bat relic, which has a move called the wing smash. It's a very fast move with the bat, and it costs a lot of MP. And so having infinite mana prism filling your MP back up all the time makes the run much, much faster.
One of the great things about the run is just like kind of like MP management between screens and like screen transitions, trying to do the wing smash input like very accurately so you don't drop it. And it's just a whole lot of fun to play with the bat mechanics in this game. It's just a really great mechanic.
Yeah, these wing smashes, so as you see, everyone is charging around the screen with the bat. Despite how easy it may look, the input for that is actually you have to hold A, do 3/4 circle to forward, and then let go of A. And it has a very fickle input reader. So they have to do this multiple times per horizontal stretch. So every time you're seeing them fly across a room, they're giving, maybe 5 or 6 of those inputs. And if they drop a single one, they fall out of the wing smash, and they lose a lot of time. So it's very, very difficult.
Also, what you can do is go directly from bat to mist and then back into bat to like halt yourself. And so there's just a lot of cool like techniques you can do with the bat. Also, just like backdashing into bat, you keep your speed while transforming. If you dive kick into bat, you like keep that speed. So there's just a lot of really cool stuff.
Yeah, and as you see, sometimes they have to go up and down with the wing smash. Going down when you're doing wing smashes is very, very difficult because you have to go up quarter circle to forward and then hold down and then go back up. And it's very, very difficult to get correctly. So right now what they're doing is they pretty much have everything they need to beat the game. They have all this incredibly powerful equipment, and so they're pretty much just heading to the second castle. If you've ever played this game, you probably know that the Richter skip is a very prominent glitch in this game. It's very well known. So they don't need to collect all of the other items you would need to beat the game. Instead, they're just going to fly up here. And the new Richter skip, there's been many, many iterations of this. The current version is, if you see the corner where you usually bring the stairs down, you can actually jump through that with Wolf and break the screen, allowing you to wing smash through the cutscene as Dragon Blitz just did. And what that does is it allows you to skip most of the game. And now that they're in the second castle, they're pretty much just going to fly through this with all their incredibly overpowered everything.
And it's very dangerous because it is very easy to soft lock the game while doing the Richter skip. You have to skip the cutscene while you're doing a wing smash, and if you don't continue doing the wing smash, you'll fall out of it, and the cutscene will just kind of continue on infinitely, and there's nothing you can do. So that was good.
You can see Buffalo Stars make quick work of the bosses.
Yeah, it's incredible that even the very late game bosses just die instantly with this equipment. It's pretty great. So it looks like we have some people in the imp room. This room is very scary. If you drop a wing smash, these imps can start chain stunning you and hitting you around. You can lose a lot of time in that room. It's very difficult. Okay. Yeah, this is an extremely close race. We have Ben and Dragon Blitz just a little bit behind Rom, and they're very, very close. And this run is not over until the very end. We have a trick called the Relic Skip coming up, which can make or break runs. We're using the same technique called the reverse shift line that you saw earlier to skip death, except instead of using a level up off of a neutron bomb in the wolf, we're going to use an item called the heart refresh, which we actually got at the very beginning of the game too, through the Dracula fight. And so what they need to do is they need to, as you see, Rom just got it. You need to do the heart refresh on a certain pixel moving away from the screen, and then backdash out of it, and you get the reverse shift line, which allows you to overflow the screen and fall down, and then you need to do a certain number of wing smashes, and you'll pop up in the other room.
That makes all the sense.
So it looks like Dragon Blitz missed it once. It loses a lot of time. The heart refresh animation is very, very long. It's a really frustrating trick to miss. Okay. So we have Rom entering the final fight. We have Ben flying up towards Shaft. We have Dragon Blitz finishing up the Relic Skip. Really closely tied with Epic. This is a great race. All right, we have time coming up. All right, that's time.
Well done, Rom Scout. That Princess TV put you over the edge.
Nice. Time. So as you see, even the Buffalo Stars make extremely quick work of the final boss. They're pretty incredibly powerful.
Close here at the end.
Yeah, it's extremely close. What a great race.
Go back whence you came.
All right,
Trouble
and
the
time.
Nice.
sarcasm. For what profit is it to a man if he gains the world and loses his own soul? Matthew 16:26, I believe.
Oh my God. Yeah, that is absolutely an incredible run from Ron Scout. We only get the best from him.
Do them no
Still
harm,
great runs from
for
all the
theirs
runners.
is already a hard lot. She also said to tell you that she would love you for all of eternity.
Lisa, forgive me. Farewell, my son.
Thank you very much, the Argonian Maid, for the $20 donation. My grandpa nearly succumbed to cancer, and cancer runs in my family, so I don't mind what you're doing at all. I want to see both the blindfolded run and the animals safe. Come on, you can get those seconds the next run. Make it so.
Alucard, I'm glad you're all right.
I'm sorry. 'Tis my fault.
Thank you very much, IFD Delusion, for the $50 donation. Blindfolded Yoshi's Island? Yes. $40 to that, and $10 to save the animals. Might as well save the animals, since we are also trying to save humans.
But you must always remember.
Thank you very much, Mr. Wonderful, for the $20 donation. Donate to the World Wildlife Fund to save real animals. For Super Metroid, we kill them, always.
Alucard, what will you do now?
The blood that flows in my veins is cursed. best for this world.
I see.
Farewell then. Will not meet.
Thank you very much, Control Alt WTF, for the $20 donation. Had to donate again for SotN and Blindfold Yoshi's Island. Shout out to the SotN community and Turbo Dog for his tutorials that helped me learn to speedrun this awesome game. One last shout out to one of my favorite streamers, Room Scoot.